Two different presentations today. Correct. Is that correct? Yes. And first we will have the presentation for the art department.
Yes, we have the art department tonight. Greg, I don't know if you want to do the introduction, or if you'd like me, or if Jen's going to do the introduction.
I would be happy to introduce Jen.
Great.
There we go. This is Jen Lowe. She's a high school art teacher, and she and the rest of the department not only do a wonderful job with our students, but they have a wonderful presentation for us this evening. So Jen, I'll let you introduce the rest of this group.
Thank you very much. This is John Brady, high school art teacher, Diane Feasley, and our tech guy at the computer is Mike Edwards, also at the high school. Marianne Boyles, who is sitting, raise your hand, Marianne. And Sue Mayer is over there representing our elementary staff. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for giving us your time tonight. We're here because there have been many changes in the department. We're really evolving as a department. The world's changing, so we're changing with it. Our presentation tonight has to do with how we really develop creativity in our students. You'll see in front of you the definition of creativity, but more so than ever, creativity is a very important asset for our children to have when they enter the real world. There was a study done by IBM recently that, and they interviewed CEOs to find out what the most valuable quality was in a prospective employee, and creativity was the #1 asset. In the art department, more so than developing creativity, we also benefit the whole student, the well-rounded student. Our goal is when these kids leave, for them to be knowledgeable, for them to be critical thinkers, for them to be able to go out into the world and make contributions. A student who participates in 4 or more years of art at the high school level improves their SAT scores on the verbal section an average of 59 points, on the math section an average of 44 points. There are many ways that we develop creativity in our students in Hamburg. When a child enters kindergarten, they come with a natural sense of being creative, the ability to think creatively. And a recent study was done that shows that as these students move on from grade level to grade level, their ability to think creatively actually diminishes. So what we are working on as a whole is to get these kids to think in divergent ways. Middle school level, they work on many interesting projects to get the kids to try and come up with multiple solutions to art problems that are presented to them. And then once they get to the high school level, we can take that, those natural skills that they've developed and have them take it a step further.
There's many different ways that we can develop creativity or help students to be more creative. Every class that we teach basically does all of these things that we're going to talk about, but what we wanted to do is just show you some examples of the types of things that we do to help the young people become more creative. In photography, for example, which is the course that I teach, I encourage students to go out and start looking at the world a little bit differently. That's the beginning step in becoming a more creative person. To go out and to explore the things that are around you, but to start looking at them from unusual points of view. We start with a very interesting project for the kids in photography, which is based on the fundamental elements that artists use in making art. Go out and find them in the world and photograph them in an unexpected way. And if you stop and think about it, a simple thing like that, to ask a young person to go out, look at things that exist all over the place they see every single day, but photograph it in a way nobody's ever looked at it before. That's an interesting new idea right there, stimulating their creativity and making them think a little bit differently.
I happen to teach fiber jewelry design at the high school, and this is a lesson that I give to my kids in my classroom, where they have to choose an animal and they have to incorporate the physical and behavioral characteristics of that animal into a piece of jewelry. This really pushes the kids to take a lot of risks in their art. And taking risks really helps them come up with a lot of fantastic ideas. Drawing and painting, Michelle Cyrick, who wanted to be here tonight, but had actually a death in her family. Her drawing and painting lessons, she really encourages the kids to explore their own ideas and to take them a step further in their drawing and painting, to experiment with a lot of different drawing and painting media.
Ms. Gray?
Ceramics is an entry-level art course that we offer at the high school. Most of my students have only taken exploratory at the middle school. And I like to look at it as kind of coming in the window or the back door. A lot of the students take the course because they're intimidated by drawing. So they get in there and they find out pretty quick that I make them draw too. But the sculpting is just less of an abstraction than drawing. You're making something three-dimensional, it is three-dimensional. You're not trying to draw it on a flat piece of paper and make it look three-dimensional. And what I do is I take classical art movements, like for example, the bubble pot, the gargoyles, over here to the right, it's surrealism we talk about, Salvador Dali and Magritte. And right now in Ceramics 1, we're working on these pop art projects where we enlarge food products and try to make them look as real as we can. And on the way over here, I was thinking about something one of my teachers said to me when I was in college, a guy named Bob Burkhart. I don't think he's still around anymore, but he said relevancy is the most important thing. How can you make what you want to teach relevant to your kids? And in a world where the average attention span is about one lap around the Super Mario track, it's a challenge. So what I do is I take these historical references and then I try to have the kids bring something of themselves into it. For example, the gargoyles are totally nothing like what you see on a medieval building or anything like that. They're more like what a student would want to put on his dresser in his bedroom. And the same with surrealism. It's a little more obvious in those projects than some of the other ones. And at the very bottom, that's Henry Moore, and we start with abstract figure sculpture. And that's when we get to a much higher learning level. That's the ceramics do the upper level. That's it, pretty much in a nutshell for ceramics.
Graphic design is the course of which I teach, and it's one of the courses that we currently have that gives its children or students an authentic experience. They actually design ads, logos, the cover for the course offering book, so they're having the opportunity to take their art, take their design skills, and utilize them in a real world situation where these are employable skills that they could go out and actually get a job and learning the technology, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and programs that would really be employable in today's market, and they get to utilize them. The ad craft should be actually being published in the next few weeks. You'll see the students' work where they actually publish an ad for a local business through the criteria of the local business that they set up for them. So they really have an authentic experience through the creative problem solving associated with that.
We're also working on portfolio assessments, particularly at the advanced placement level, where the kids take everything that they've learned and create works in which they place them together in a comprehensive, cohesive portfolio, which they're also, in a sense, competing against each other because they take a look at each other's work and they use each other as motivation to try and do better. Well, he's doing this, well, maybe I can do this. And that really is the culminating experience at the end of their art education before they go out into either the real world or college.
And these portfolios, our hope is that these may not be students that are planning on going off to study art, but going off to study anything. What colleges are looking for, again, creative thinkers, creative problem solvers, and these portfolios will be useful for them to show colleges that they are, in fact, creative thinkers. So, therefore, all students, regardless of what their future endeavors may be.
And independent workers too, because their portfolios are self-directed. Not one student in the entire room does the same assignment. They all have to be self-driven to come up with a portfolio that would express who they are personally the most.
Which leads us to our next goal. I mentioned at the beginning that the world is changing at a rapid pace. Technology is changing at a rapid pace. A few years ago, who would have thought that we would have had the tablets out that we have now, or the programs that we have out now? So another goal of the art department is to begin to incorporate this technology into our rooms, so when our students do leave us, they've had solid experience with this, they know how to use the programs, and they can take it to another level when they get into school or into employment. So we've made some changes. We're developing some new courses. We're getting a college accreditation for other courses that we have. Mike, if you'd like to speak to yours.
Actually, I'll speak first. Starting in about 3 weeks, I have a brand new course that through graphic design, which will be our first college readiness course. It's an ECC course, which the students will learn Adobe Illustrator, which is a very marketable curriculum that the students will actually be able to be employable from this course. But when they finish the class, they will have 3 credit hours from ECC if they so choose to do that. So it's very exciting, and we have a few more in the wings that we're trying to work towards.
Yeah, myself and Michelle Cyrick have submitted our applications to GCC, along with our portfolios, our personal portfolios, our student portfolios, and so forth, to change our photography and drawing and painting courses into college level courses as well. So digital photography, black and white photography, drawing, and painting would all earn 3 ECC student credits when the students finish with those programs. And again, making them employable in the areas of photography and employable in those areas, as well as being able to take those on to the next level in college. Do you want to talk about fashion? Yeah.
We're also developing, and we're going to be implementing a fashion design and illustration course for next year. The work that will be produced in that course will allow the kids to enter a portfolio to FIT. It will meet their requirements. And it is a course that's very closely tied to a career when they leave school.
Another course that is in the works that we're hoping to have in place in the next couple of years is a computer drawing and design course. As Jen said, technology is changing rapidly, and I don't think anybody sees that as much as artists and designers do. 20 years ago, all of your designs for things were done by hand. 30 years ago, the concept of doing anything on a computer was non-existent. And now your designers are working with various softwares, and pretty much in industry standards, they're working with computers now to do a lot of the basic designs that are out there. So we're in the process of putting together a program or a course that would introduce these students to a number of different software programs that are out there, including things like apps for iPads. There are some amazing apps that are being developed for iPads that you can sit down and design a house with. And this is the wave of the future. They're talking about tablets taking over. Well, this is what we're moving towards, to create a course that will introduce students to all of these different programs and things that are out there. Our goal for that class would be for them to start exploring creativity through the software and technology in the area of working with concept designs, packaging designs, jewelry designs. If you take a look at the bathtub down in the left-hand corner there, pretty cool, I want that one for my house. Concept product designs, concept architectural designs, automotive designs, again, working in the area of creativity, but utilizing the new technology that's available to them and making them aware of what's out there.
And we're just going to really quickly show you some examples of the current uses that we have of technology in our classrooms. Use of digital cameras, software such as Aperture and Photoshop. Most recently, we've been having a lot of fun with playing with the tablets. There have been a few department members who got them for Christmas. So bringing them in and experimenting with new applications, even the smartphones, really pushing these kids, instead of using their technology just for social networking, that they can be working on really creative endeavors while they're sitting and waiting in the mall. And there's a lot of statistics, current encouraging statistics on careers related to the arts. That the outlook is very, very good. It's expected to increase by 13%. So there's a lot of careers that are art related where the projected growth is very, very promising. So the old adage doesn't hold true anymore, that if you want to go into the visual arts, that you have to be a starving artist.
We thank you. That was our State of the Union address.
Her experience in the art program, and we're then finished. Thank you so much for your
I
time.
also want to mention, in the text that we've given you, we also have a few articles that might be of interest to you as you look forward as where the art program is going further.
Could I just ask, is your program posted to your website, the PowerPoint you gave us tonight?
It is not, but it
will
could be
to
tomorrow.
our department website.
Okay, we'll get that up there.
Okay, thank you. This is Mackenzie Hafner. She is an AP art student at Hamburg High School.
Hi, like Mrs. Lewis said, my name is Mackenzie and I'm a senior at Hamburg High School. I've spent a lot of time in the art department taking a lot of classes, and as an AP student and the president of Art Society, I've chosen to write about the art department for one of my essays for my supplement to Brown University. The prompt said, we all exist within communities or groups of various sizes, origins, and purposes. Pick one and tell us why it is important to you and how it has shaped you. Like I said, I wrote about the art department. The upholstered armchair splattered with paint creates the perfect seat to relax and let my mind wander and thoughts develop. The art department in which it is located is the community I exist within, or as an individual I can freely be. The work I've done and the friends I've made in the art wing have shown me that my alternative perspective and eclectic ideas are to be shared with others rather than silenced by conformity. The art department has also been a constructive environment in which my mind is creatively stimulated, letting me develop into a strong-minded individual. I learned to communicate the elements of my mind I cannot verbalize through abstract presentation. With pulling references from my mind, I continuously reconsider my values and what intrigues me. I grew to love and develop my unconventional mind by working in an environment with a high capacity for creativity. The art department taught me to exist outside the expectations of others.
Board have any questions? Great, Jim, Mike, everyone, thanks so much.
Thank you very
Appreciate your
much.
time.
Thank you for having us.
Probably just moving out right away, so. I just, as we do for every meeting, the building that we're having a board meeting at makes a presentation for us. So Leslie Bennett, principal of Armour Elementary School, if you'd like to introduce your team and your program tonight, be happy to listen. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome, Board of Education members and also members of the community. Welcome to Armour Elementary, a community of distinction. And I would like to recognize our distinct and distinguished staff who are here tonight, representing the full staff. And sorry, guys, but would you stand, please? Let's give them a hand. It's a privilege to work with this group of professionals. As I said, our theme for this year, the 2011-2012 school year, is a community of distinction. During the first week of school, we met with all of the students in grade level assemblies in the auditorium, and we talked with them about what it is to be a community of distinction. We define distinction as being unique and excellent. So a couple days later, I came into the cafeteria while kids were having lunch, and I asked them, do you remember what distinct means? And a hand shot up right away, 4th grade boy. He said, we are destined for greatness, which I think was way better than unique and excellent. But he really captured it, and that is what we strive to be every day. We would like to take a few minutes tonight to share with you some of our strengths that make us a community of distinction. These programs, collaborations, and strengths can be found in our school improvement plan on the ARMOR website. So I am going to start out with the first element, and that is collaboration. We are a school that collaborates as colleagues and also as members of the community. Our successes are a result of team effort. Whether it's Canisius or SUNY Fredonia, whether it's local artists or agencies or experts, businesses, and other resources, we recognize that it is our collective strength that results in success for our students.
It's not possible to overstate the importance of early intervention. And here at ARMOR, we strive to provide numerous opportunities for small group instruction in order to support the learning of all of our students. Kid Skills is one of our early intervention enrichment programs that provides the opportunity once each week for small group instruction targeting foundational skills necessary for learning.
Through such classes as Art Smart, Library Club, Fitness Club, and Music Club, teachers have the ability to address the learning needs of their students in a small group setting.
ARMOR has a long-standing tradition of academic excellence. In a kindergarten through 5th grade effort, we are celebrating strong gains in both ELA and mathematics. We attribute this continued improvement to our collaboration, our early intervention, focus on the whole child, fitness, etiquette, character, and we focused on that last year in our presentation. Also our new master schedule with 90 to 120-minute balanced literacy blocks and best practices in instruction. And we're just still kind of reveling in the fact that we had 46% of our 4th graders achieve the highest mathematic score of distinction, a level 4. We had a 17% increase in our 5th grade ELA, and we have had steady, strong progress in both ELA and math in 3rd grade.
Members of the PTSA Liaison Committee, and we're just very thankful to have an active and supportive PTSA, as well as to offer our parents many opportunities to come into our classrooms, become involved with our activities, and just to enjoy the atmosphere that we create here at ARMOR.
Safety Patrol and peer helpers provide opportunities for 5th graders to willingly accept additional duties and responsibilities, model behavior, and provide service and leadership to our community.
I'm here to represent the support staff. The support staff throughout our building are important to the academic and personal developments and achievements of our students. Our support staff personnel are motivated by a sincere concern for the students and our educational necessity that benefits both students and staff.
best-kept resource in town. Students will be in the library from kindergarten through college. The key to Common Core standards begins in the library. Students shown in the picture are very popular reference source / informational text car race game. AES music students have the opportunity to rock in class with additional activities. Students can sing in chorus, learn how to play recorder, strings, or a band instrument. Level 4 and 5 students can participate in musicals. Our gifted student artists participate in several district and community art exhibits. Please visit our hallway galleries after the meeting. In physical education and in intramurals, students in Armour are exposed to a wide variety of traditional sports and recreational lifetime activities such as bowling, dancing, and racket sports. Each year, Armour participates in the American Heart Association's Jump Rope for Heart program that encourages physical activity to combat heart disease. This year, Armour welcomed the Master Chung's Taekwondo School for a demonstration of Korean martial art with a huge number of participants. Finally, in June 2012, the 55th annual elementary track meet will be held for all 4th and 5th graders.
Choice time was a favorite activity of mine in kindergarten. Playing with the blocks and cars and dinosaurs was so much fun. Little did I know while all of this was going on, I was problem solving, developing eye-hand coordination, discovering my creative talents, and expanding my physical and social worlds.
This year in first grade, we're incorporating the Daily 5 in our balanced literacy instruction. The Daily 5 is a research-based approach that allows us to differentiate our instruction across the entire grade level. The Daily 5 promotes literacy independence, which is what we're striving for as the children get older, as well as fostering a love of reading and writing, which you can see a component in the slide, the word work portion of our Daily 5.
Classroom offers a diverse and unique learning environment that promotes success in students through sensory, integration, motor, tactile, and language skills. Our goal is that all students become productive members of society. The student in the picture is writing letters with shaving cream and working on his sensory needs.
Tremendous growth for children. Throughout the day, Level 2 students hone their literacy skills through a writing workshop, differentiated reading instruction, and literacy workstations.
Hi, my name is Jeff Medonsky, and I'm a level 3 teacher here at Armour Elementary, and I'm here to talk to you about the Bulldog Boutique, which is our school store. We started the store 2 years ago, and it was a culminating project that the level 3 team of Mr. Sparcino, Mrs. Sullivan, and myself put together to finish up a unit on economics. So we have 1 or 2 students from 3rd grade running the store every day that it's open, and they're in charge of all aspects of it, from handling the money to stocking the shelves and keeping track of inventory. And all proceeds from the school store go towards funding our annual Armor Family Movie Night, which is held every spring.
This year, the level 4 teachers took a class together after school so they could better understand how to use the smartphone. They create lessons and games for us on the smartboard that make learning so much more fun.
Level 5 would love to share another piece to our school puzzle. We are distinguished at Level 5 because we are daily writers. We start our writing period with a mini lesson that focuses on a specific writing strategy. Then we quietly tiptoe back to our seats and begin. We get to write for 40 minutes every day. Tommy Blackwell will read his essay on bullying, and Kristen Bacher will share her narrative piece of writing titled My Lacrosse Party. Please enjoy.
Bullying is a problem at many schools worldwide. In my opinion, the cause of this is the lack of discipline. I've come up with 7 steps to help make bullies or bullies do the right thing and to help end bullying. Step 1, extra work. This can be as simple as scrubbing down the chalkboard, or it's just something as gross and disgusting as cleaning the gum off the cafeteria tables. The idea of this is to make the boy not want to bully people again, or else will have to face the consequences afterward. Step 2, detention. You can pick the time limit depending on what the bully did and how bad he or she hurt the child. As same as step 1, this is to make the boy not want to hurt the child any longer. Step 3, parents' calls. If the boy can handle step 1 and 2, add that to punishment at home. Or have grown-ups yelling at him in 2 places. He might just feel down. Step 4, take away privileges. The idea is this is to show the boy who is in charge and you're not afraid to punish him more than you already have. So when you do this stuff, make sure you hit him where it hurts. Like if he loves sports and does anything else, I'd take it away from him. Step 5, humiliation. It may be mean, but it needs to be stopped. The idea is to make the boy feel like the child he has been bullying. Bring up something really embarrassing in front of the entire class. Step 6, suspension. It's like a mix of almost everything. You will humiliate the boy, at the same time, his parents will be mad at him. You took away the privileges of school and its advantages. Step 7 is to be expulsion. If all the other steps fail, get rid of the boy from the bully's expulsion if all the other steps fail. If he comes back from suspension and still is bullying kids, that's where it ends for good. And that's how I would end bullying. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bacher, and I'm going to read My Lacrosse Party. Woohoo! My parents screamed when I scored. My last lacrosse game was ended. Hamburg Knights won the final game. After we won, my whole team drove to the Nike base for an end-of-season party. There we played 3-leg races, kickball, and even water balloons. Everyone got tired, grass-stained, and drenched. Near the end of the party, we all got with our teams and said our goodbyes. My team got Hamburg Knights lacrosse t-shirts as our coaches' goodbyes. Then when the party was over, I went to my car and told my parents how I broke my shoe in the second 3-leg race. They were my favorite shoes. The color was bright orange. I wore them for my Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory musical I did last year. All right, Dana and Kristen, off we go in the car. I was so sad I had to leave all my friends. I was especially sad that I had to leave my best friend, AJ. When I got in the car, I was waving goodbye to everyone. I will never forget that exciting, outstanding lacrosse year. I had fun, made new friends. Now I'm heading home as my journey ends.
Point out that 1 year ago tonight, during our public speak part of the board meeting, we did have some parents asking waiting for a writing program to be implemented, and here you see the results, so congratulations. And our student leaders, would you stand up and face the audience, please? I am very proud to introduce to you Ethan Coleman, Nick Hafner, Tommy Blackwell, Chelsea Reagan, Kristen Bacher, Lexi Duma, I'm sorry, Lexi, and Christina Burt. Thank you very much. What we have attempted to do tonight is to put together the pieces of the mosaic we call a community of distinction.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bennett. Appreciate your time. Thank you, staff and kids, for coming this evening. That was very well done.
Thank you guys for coming. If you need to go do lots of writing tonight. But anybody who wants to say anything, just start.
Who do you get it from? I don't. Well, how do they do it when they for their participation in government?
It doesn't matter, it's one of
Just anybody.
Can she speak up there now?
I go real quick.
It's a fair share.
Run it on no dinner. But everybody will eat.
Next, I believe, we're going to have a discussion of information on the budget.
Yes.
Something we've been hearing a lot about.
Yes, you received, and this is more of a time frame that Greg Davis put together. So Greg, if you would please.
You have the annual budget book and board election, kind of the schedule it according to the requirements by the state. I'm just going to highlight a couple of dates. Monday, February 27th, petitions for those seeking a seat on the board will be available in our office. And then below that is the deadline for that process. Absentee ballots for the election will be available on March 28th, and we'll be mailing those out in early May. Budget adoption by the board, certainly started this process, is April 17th at our meeting, Tuesday night, April 17th. Our public hearing, which is held at the high school auditorium, will be on May 1st at 7:15, and the annual budget vote will be on Tuesday, May 15th. 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Pretty long. Questions about the schedule?
Great. Thanks, Greg. While we're getting the budget presentation up and running, I'd just like to let the board know and let folks in the public audience know that a recent law was signed into effect on freedom of information, the Freedom of Information Law, which is going to require school districts, municipalities to publish on their website information related to the board meeting prior to the board meeting. It does go into effect on February 2nd. We have attempted to initiate that process. So when you go into our link on the school board meeting and the link to the agenda, you'll see highlighted in blue the attachments to the board meeting. So we've initiated that early. We'll continue to do that, and we'll have that up and ready, and we'll be ahead of the process by the time that starts. I believe it was just signed into law on January 2nd. So we are doing that, moving forward with it, and you can see that as a board and as a public. We ready?
The hourglass is stuck.
Okay. Are you gonna dance or anything? Waiter.
Stuff was the key word.
Hey, somebody was eating all those chocolates and put the wrappers in the spot here.
You didn't eat those. Those wrappers were
Yeah, we can. You want to move on? How long is this? Do you know how long it's going to take?
Leslie, you need a new computer.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Why don't we move on and then we'll come back to Barbara.
We're going to have discussion.
Okay. Next on our schedule is public expression and information. We did not have anyone sign up to do public expression today, so we will move on to the information items for the board. Correspondence people want to share?
Any correspondence at this time?
Meetings, workshops, and reservations. Tom, you mentioned that you might have, so I know you've been going to a lot of meetings.
I've been got the Erie County School Board Association. I'm part of the legislative committee, which has been extremely active. They seem particularly energized this year to try to get with our state legislators and senators to try to make some meaningful change to the mandates, the tri-borough, to the pension system, and so forth, to be able to give school districts the tools to stay within the property tax levy limit that they've now put us under. Our legislative breakfast is scheduled for February 11th, which I don't know which two are already signed up to be there, but we do know that at least two representatives, state representatives, will be there. The meeting I went to on Saturday was presented by Dr. Rick Timms, who's pretty much turned into his lifelong effort to try to bring equality to New York State schools, both through these mandate relief, as well as tax equity amongst the state. It was really pretty eye-opening when you look at how the tax levy limit affects school districts such as those in Western New York compared to those in some of the extremely wealthy areas of New York. So another part of his presentation was to point out these inequities, which, like I said, it's eye-opening. There's the same percentage. See if I can say this right. The same percentage cut in aid to a wealthy district might end up 1%, 1.5% tax levy increase to a more normal district. Most districts in New York State, or in Western New York, you could be looking at trying to replace that with a 20 to 30% tax levy increase. So is what all of us have done is to try to combat that, is to reduce costs however you can. Staff, programs, and his spiel is to try to get that reversed so that we're giving good education to all our kids. So continue working on that.
Are there other people who have been at meetings lately that want to share any meetings that they've been to? Information about, or committees that have met that they
How about a student update? Give us a scoop as to what's going on in the high school.
There's actually a lot going on in the high school right now, more than people think. The musical is Bye Bye Birdie this year, and it's the third week, I believe, in February. Right now, I'm currently working with Frontier to try to get a competition to raise food for Food Bank. Attempting to do that in March, just to raise food and kind of have a clean competition between us and Frontier. The student government is in the works of repainting our high school cafeteria. It's a lot more work than I anticipated it to be because we have to go through certain paint companies that are school regulated. We have to get the ideas of 60 people in the student government to please everyone that uses our cafeteria, which is not only the students but community members as well. So that hopefully our plan is to do that over February break, if we can. We're adjusting to the new having school during midterm week, and preparing for in-class finals. First semester ends in about 3 weeks or so, and winter sports are started. And not doing as bad as we anticipated. We're actually doing pretty good.
Not doing as bad as we
anticipated. So basketball is improving the rest a little bit. And then 2 fundraisers that we're doing in our school. One, DECA, they're trying to redo the dog pound, which is our school store. We sell food, now we sell competition notebooks, pencils, really anything we need during the day. They're doing that they have sweatshirts that they're selling for $40, and links are on the website, and they're doing bags for $20. They're Nike drawstring bags that you put on your back. And then lastly, last meeting I talked about possibly getting a CD of Homecoming, and some man came in and videotaped the football game, the parade, the bonfire, the powder puff game, pretty much everything that went on that entire week. And we came to an agreement that we would sell them for $8, he'd get 4, we'd get 4, and then Blu-ray would be 10. And we split that the same. There's a mini clip, Mr. Carter tells me, on the website, and with the order form for that too. So, that's pretty much it.
Was there not a winter homecoming?
There is, it's in February.
Oh, it's in February?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I figured I'd bring that up.
Okay. Oh,
Next February one. Yeah.
I didn't know if it had already passed.
No.
Okay.
You want to go
Are we ready?
Sure.
Great. And this is, Barb's going to give an update on the budget process we're going through. One of the difficulties we're having this time is we're really in between times because we're awaiting the governor's executive budget proposal. And once we receive that executive budget proposal, we'll have a more firm revenue figure to use for state aid purposes that will help generate the budget process moving forward. So Barb, if you would.
I'm going to apologize because I usually have the slide handouts, which are up to my office, so sorry about that. But this is short. I'll run right over it right now. But if you
They're in
want,
back by the
I
time
can
it
email it out to you.
That's what I was thinking.
Got my finger shoes on, I'll trip right. But what I can do is email it out to you, and of course, it's going to be on the website, because Michelle is going to be requesting that right away. So we just have a little update tonight. We wanted to talk a little bit about some of the strategies that we've presented at previous meetings that were already in the course of implementation. It's not to say that any of it's a done deal or completed, but we're working on that. It's already underway. One of the things, of course, is the retirement incentive, which you'll see on the agenda this evening. The retirement incentive for your vote tonight is between the district and Hamburg Teachers Association. I put a potential savings on there at 1.25 million. However, that is not a hard number. It is, of course, dependent on the actual number of individuals who take advantage of the incentive and their status. Everybody's a little bit different. Their salary, of course, is a little bit different depending on if they're taking family or single. But it's a ballpark number, and it's what we're shooting for in order to be successful with the incentive. Another strategy that's underway is we are in the process of applying for a competitive grant. We're calling it a strategy for our budget development. We of course don't count on necessarily being funded, that would be a little short-sighted, but we are always hopeful. We are looking at any competitive grants that are available that we qualify for. They're all very difficult to reach, but of course we are going to certainly make that effort and see what comes of it.
And that grant is $600,000 for the 12-13 year. It is a 3-year competitive grant at $1.8 million, correct? Right, as we go through that. So that will carry through. It does require renewals, but it has the potential of $600,000 in each of the next 2 years as well.
Also, what we're working on, the superintendent is working on, with Dr. Jetter especially, is the continued negotiations on a wage freeze for all employees across the district, district-wide, regardless of your position. So those are three key areas that we can say that we're deep in the trenches of implementing these strategies in an effort to meet our budget constraints. One of the other areas that is being reviewed, I know the superintendent has spoken to all of you regarding this at some length. He is continuing to refine and review the staff and class size requirements. We're looking at, of course, all the schools, all the elementary schools, to review the class size guidelines. I know he's working very closely with the building principals to determine what they feel appropriate class size is, how that is going to